Hi, this is David from Dark Ivy Consulting, and today I'm securing remote desktop protocol access to a cloud server. Yesterday I set up a server in AWS. Let's call it the Honeypot. I didn't install any software, no database, no websites, and yet already somebody's trying to get in. What I set up the Honeypot to demonstrate is that it takes very little time for an online server to get noticed and attacked. I can see the attack in the security logs right here. Security logs are great fun, and I encourage everyone to check theirs out from time to time. I can see that every few seconds there's a logon attempt that fails because the username doesn't exist or the password is wrong. The baddies are running a script trying to find weak passwords and easily accessible systems. And they're using the same remote desktop protocol that AWS enabled for me by default. Now at this rate, it would take them like 1 billion years to get in because I use good passwords. This attack is looking for low-hanging fruit, and it's inadequate for my configuration. That being said, I still don't like it. As this server stays online, the volume of attacks is going to increase over time, and I've seen it get so bad that the server is very difficult to log on to. It's almost like a denial of service type of situation. Right here, here's the problem. I've got a port open. 3389. That's the RDP port. And it's open by default so that we can access our Windows deployments. But both Microsoft and AWS recommend that we take steps to secure this access. So what do? How do we secure our access to this cloud server? We've got a few options. The simplest one that would probably break the script is that we could change the remote desktop port. I'm not going to recommend changing the port. I want to do something better than that. Changing the port might break the script, but very little else. It doesn't provide any real security. Let's take a look at how this port is configured in AWS in its network security group. The default network security group on AWS allows unrestricted access to port 3389. A good way to secure RDP access is to restrict where the connections can come from. Like, if you only will allow connections from your office, then put the static IP address of your office there. Even better, if you have a VPN, you can extend that VPN with a VPN tunnel by putting the exit point of your VPN there. This type of configuration is good, but it doesn't work for everyone. What if I wanted to be able to access the system from anywhere because I travel around, or maybe don't have access to a single VPN solution? It turns out that both AWS and Microsoft Azure have techniques that you can use to access your systems with the remote desktop protocol securely. There's several paths you can take to get this done. I'm going the free option. It takes a little time to set it up though. You tunnel through the infrastructure rather than going through the open port. And this all has to be built. If I had a budget and needed to support greater amount of workloads, I would consider deploying what's called an RD server on the virtual private cloud. This is a special server designed for taking incoming connections over HTTPS and then tunneling them to RDP. A big benefit of that configuration would be that my remote desktop protocol users would be able to access the system through a web browser. The way I secured my RDP connection is using AWS Session Manager, which is a feature within System Manager. As I said before, it was a bit of work to get all of this built, but I did get to explore some new areas of AWS. And now check out how I do my remote desktop protocol connections. I've got no ports open at all in the firewall, and so this is all going to tunnel through AWS. I have a little script that I wrote in PowerShell, and I've got to run it prior to connecting with the remote desktop protocol. This script will actually map a port from my computer to a port in the cloud. And then I access my remote desktop by connecting to localhost on my own computer. This is a port forwarding tool that comes with SSH. It's very secure. What matters to me is that that port is now closed and the attacks have ended. This server is a little bit more secure. It's important to defend your business. You should spend some time on it. I'm David with Dark Ivy Consulting, and this has been Securing Remote Desktop Protocols.